back to Movies on the Brain. I'm Jason, and today we're leaping into the mystical, action-packed world of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Directed by Mike Newell, this 2010 adventure film stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Gemma Arterton, and Ben Kingsley. In this video, I'll be sharing my thoughts and insights after watching the film for the first time. I'll explore the thrilling action sequences, the captivating story, and the magical elements that bring the legendary video game to life. Remember, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, hit pause, watch it, and then come back so we can unravel every twist and turn together. Let's get started. Let's see how it did in the box office. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time opened in theaters on May 28, 2010, and had a budget ranging from $150 to $200 million. In its 17-week theatrical run, it earned a total of $90.7 million domestically and $245.6 million internationally, bringing its worldwide total to $336.3 million. The opening weekend, which happened to be Memorial Day weekend of 2010, saw it bring in $37.8 million, finishing number 2 in the box office, only finishing behind Shrek Forever After, which had just come out the week prior. For the first 5 weeks of its theatrical run, it was in the top 10 box office, and for some reason that I'm unable to find, after it had dropped to number 44 in its 11th week. It saw a 326% increase in sales, pushing it to number 29 the following week. Weekend, which coincidentally happened to end on my 19th birthday, which is September 23rd, for those who care, it only managed to earn $16,230 and finished at number 84. Now let's get into the plot. Dastan, a street urchin in Persia, is adopted by King Shahraman after showing courage. 15 years later, the king's brother Nizam relays evidence to the princes. Dastan, along with the king's biological sons Tus and Garzev, that the holy city of Alama is forging weapons for Persia's enemies. Tus directs the Persian army to capture Alama. During the attack, Dastan defeats a royal guard and obtains a sacred dagger from him. Alamet falls to the Persians, but Princess Tamina denies that the city has any weapon forges. Tus asks her to marry him to unite the two nations, and she only accepts after seeing the dagger in Dastan's possession. At their celebratory banquet, Tus has Dastan give their father an embroidered robe. However, the robe is poisoned, fatally burning Shahraman. Garzev accuses Dastan of the king's murder. Dastan escapes with Tamina, and Tus is appointed king, and a bounty on Dastan's head is set. While in hiding, Tamina attempts to kill Dastan and steal the dagger, and in the struggle, Dastan discovers the dagger enables the wielder to travel back in time. Leaving Tus invaded Alamet for the dagger, Dastan decides to confront his brother. On the way, the two are captured by merchant bandits led by Sheikh Amar, who seeks the reward money, but they manage to escape. After arriving in Avrat, Dastan tries to convince Nazim of his innocence. Seeing burns on Nizam's hands, Dastan realizes that Nizam orchestrated the king's murder. Dastan is forced to escape once again. Nizam sends a group of covert warriors, the Hassanians, to kill Dastan and find the dagger. Tamina later tells Dastan that long ago the gods unleashed a great sandstorm to destroy humanity, but were moved by a young girl's offer to sacrifice herself in humanity's place, and trapped the sands of time in a large sand glass. Tamina is the latest guardian of the dagger given to the young girl by the gods, which can pierce the sand glass and potentially destroy the world. Nizam intends to travel back to his childhood, prevent himself from saving Shahraman from a lion attack, and become the Prince of Persia, the King of Persia in his place. Amar captures the two again, but Dastan saves Amar's men from Hassan's attack using the dagger. This convinces Amar to escort them to a sanctuary near the Hindu Kush, where Tamina will seal the dagger within the stone it first came from. At the sanctuary, Garsiv appears, whom Dastan convinces of his innocence. However, the Hassanians ambush them, killing Garsiv and stealing the dagger. Dastan's group travels back to Alamut to steal back the dagger and warn Tuss of Nizam. Amar's right-hand man, Sesso, dies retrieving the dagger for Dastan. He demonstrates its power to Tuss and convinces him of the truth. Nizam interrupts them, kills Tuss, and takes the dagger back. Amina saves Dastan from being killed, and the two head to the secret tunnels beneath the city that lead to the Sandglass. They reach Nizam, who stabs Dastan and throws him off a cliff. Amina sacrifices herself, releasing Dastan's hand and falling to her death. This allows him to fight Nizam. Nizam thrusts the dagger into a column of sandglass under the temple. Dastan grabs hold of the hilt of the dagger. Together with Nizam, as sand is released from the sandglass, time rewinds to the moment Dastan finds the dagger. He finds Tuss and Garsiv and exposes Nizam's treachery. Nizam tries to kill Dastan, who easily defeats him. Nizam gets up and attempts to attack again, but is subdued and killed by Tuss. Tuss apologizes to Tamina for the siege and proposes to strengthen the two nations' bond by marital alliance of the princess to Dastan. Dastan returns the dagger to Tamina as an engagement gift and tells her he looks forward to their future together. Now let's look at the cast and some of the other roles they've had. Jake Gyllenhaal as Prince Dastan. Other roles for Jake Gyllenhaal include Coulter Stevens in Source Code, Louise Bloom in Nightcrawler, and Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home. William Foster as young Dastan. This has been William Foster's only role. Gemma Arterton as Princess Tamina. Other roles for Gemma Arterton include Io in Clash of the Titans, Gretel in Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, and Diane in the TV show Culprits. Ben Kingsley as Prince Nizam. Other roles for Ben Kingsley include the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, Bagheera in the live-action Jungle Book, and Sabine in the Fallout 3 video game. Toby Kebbell as Prince Garziv. Other roles for Toby Kebbell include Agenor in Wrath of the Titans, Toba in the Planet of the Apes reboot franchise, and Doctor Doom in 2015's Fantastic Four. Alfred Molina as Sheik Amar. Other roles for Alfred Molina include Roadkill in Rango, Professor Derek Knight in Monsters University, and Abner Tharn in the Elder Scrolls video game franchise. Richard Coyle as Prince Tuss. Other roles for Richard Coyle include Sebastian Gans in 5 Days of War, Wallace in Outpost Black Sun, and Robert Wallace in the TV show 6-4. Ronald Pickup as King Shahraman. Before his passing in February of 2021, other roles for Ronald Pickup include Norman Cousins in The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, Neville Chamberlain in Darkest Hour, and Damien Self in End of Term, which that was his final film role. Reese Ritchie as Biz. Other roles for Reese Ritchie include Iolaus in 2014's Hercules, Charles Dickens in The Haunted Hotel, and Lieutenant Spencer Lane in the TV show The Ark. Steve Toussaint as Sesto. Other roles for Steve Toussaint include FBI Director Number 1 in 2015's Point Break, Roy in Gassed Up, and George Lambert in Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2 video games. Darwin Shaw as Ahsoka. Other roles for Darwin Shaw include Ty in John Carter, St. Peter in Son of God, and Dr. Alex in Dry. Giselle Oren Garson as Hassan Leader. Other roles for Gisli Oren Gardarson include Vidar in the TV show Ragnarok, Jonas in the TV show One Night, and Brekka in the TV show Beowulf Return to the Shieldlands. And this was such a beautifully shot movie. Honestly, rare to find an action movie shot as nice as this one was. The fight scenes were very well choreographed, and the placement of the slow motion was both appropriate for the film and the subject matter, as well as tasteful. Honestly, I had a lot of fun watching the parkour scenes. I do feel like uh, Jake Gyllenhaal was great as the lead, with a great crop of supporting actors around him. I'm honestly not too familiar with Gemma Arterton, but she commanded the stage with every scene she was in, not just because she was playing a princess either. Her chemistry with Jake Gyllenhaal was fun to match. Ben Kingsley never disappoints in any movie he's in. He's so much fun to watch, and a lot of times he's the bad guy, which makes it even more fun to watch, I think. I haven't played the games myself, so I can't say in my experience if this movie is a good adaptation of the games or not, but from what I've seen of the games, they got the visual aesthetic down beautifully. When I saw that Alfred Molina was in this movie, I got excited because he's another actor that never disappoints. And funnily enough, I never realized he was the ostrich racing guy. He was completely unrecognizable. This was such a fun movie, and I'm so glad I got to experience it blind. Okay, now let's check out some fun facts and trivia about this movie. In this movie, characters are predominantly seen handling apples and pomegranates. Pomegranates were considered the original apples and were symbols of strength to the Persian armies. Jake Gyllenhaal gained 10 pounds of muscle for the role of Dastan. The movie marks the fourth PG-13 rated movie under the Walt Disney Pictures label in the US after the first three Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Jake Gyllenhaal learned parkour in preparation for the film. This film was meant to be the first in a franchise akin to Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean films. However, the film underperforming below expectations despite selling well on DVD and Blu-ray. Ubisoft shifting their attention to the Assassin's Creed video games instead, and dissipating interest in the franchise led to any sequel plans being abandoned. The final nail in the coffin for any sequels was when Jake Gyllenhaal expressed regret in appearing in the film. None of the actors are of Persian descent. Jake Gyllenhaal and Gemma Arterton are of partial Jewish descent. Alfred Molina is of Spanish and Italian descent. Sir Ben Kingsley is of Anglo-Indian descent. Steve Toussaint is of Barbadian descent. Reese Ritchie is of partial South African descent. Gisli Orn Gardarson is of Icelandic descent. Before Jake Gyllenhaal was cast in the lead role, Orlando Bloom and Zac Efron were rumored for the part. The scene where the camera rotates around Dastan on a high tower to give a good view of the landscape is an homage to Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed games, where similar camera work is used. The outfits and costumes worn by Jake Gyllenhaal throughout the movies are designed after Prince Dastan's costumes throughout the entire Prince of Persia game trilogy, and not just the first game. Princess Tamina's character is a composite of all the feminine characters in the games, including Farah, Kylina, and Alika. The third biggest opening for a video game adaptation after Lara Croft Tomb Raider in 2001, and Pokemon in the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back in 1998. First stab at the screenplay went to Jordan Mechner, who originally created the series. And that's a wrap on our adventure through Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I hope you enjoyed this spoiler-filled review and the exploration of Jake Gyllenhaal's daring performance and the film's magical elements. If you have any thoughts, favorite scenes, or theories about the movie, drop them in the comments below. I love hearing your insight. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest reviews. Also, click that bell icon to get notified every time we upload new content. Thanks for watching Movies on the Brain. I'm Jason, and I'll see you in the next review. Stay curious, movie lovers.